What's going on, everybody? ChromeOnRust here. I want to talk to you today about Adventure Mode. It's going to be a new way to play Diablo 3 Reaper Souls whenever it does launch. Now, it's going to allow you to explore the world of Sanctuary in different ways, complete bounties, clear random dungeons, while, of course, finding epic loot. Well, let's face it, even the devs themselves say, it's kind of a tongue twister there, that Diablo 3 is all about the loot. And I would totally agree with them and me when I would say that Diablo 3 is all about the loot, but including that is finding loot. You can't forget about the finding of the loot. That also needs to hold our interest and be enjoyable to us while we're farming, grinding, whatever you like to call it. And that's what Adventure Mode is expanding upon now. Currently in our system, they have what they would call now Campaign Mode, where we can play through the entire game from Act 1 to Act 4. And if you want to go from Act 4 back to Act 1, well, you're going to be able to do that, but you're just going to have to complete an entirely new game. Well, no longer with Adventure Mode are you going to have to do that. They're going to unlock all of the waypoints in all of the acts, and it's going to be accessible to us for us to go from Act 5 to Act 1, and then from Act 1 to Act 3, and then to Act 4, and then from Act 4 to Act 2, while bouncing around to any of the waypoints or going to the different towns wherever we want to start or wherever we want to finish. We're going to be able to do that. Basically, they're advertising this as play whenever you want, wherever you want. So it's kind of cool because that's really what they are doing. Now, how are we going to unlock Adventure Mode? Well, from what they're saying is Adventure Mode is just going to be unlocked to everyone, even when you create a new character. I mean, me personally, I thought they were going to make you play through the campaign once, and then Adventure Mode would be unlocked. But from what they're saying, they're not making us do that. Now, there's a short clip from BlizzCon that I do want to go ahead and play for you where they are talking about this and where I'm getting my information from. So I will have a link to this video in the description below if you'd like to check this one out as well. But from the sounds of it, from what they're saying, from what I gathered, is you create a new character and Adventure Mode is going to be unlocked for that character. So go ahead and let's check out this clip.
This is a brand new game mode. So that requirement that you play through the game linearly, that's gone. You can play when you want to. Not only, thank you. Endgame for everyone that Josh mentioned, not only is Adventure Mode an endgame, it's also somewhere where you can level up your character. So we have this awesome new campaign in Act 5, but you don't have to play that in order to get to Adventure Mode. Adventure Mode is this new mode.
So there's just one more thing that I wanted to mention about Adventure Mode before I get into the bounties and the random dungeons that I was telling you about. And that is going to be that with this, while you're playing Adventure Mode, this is going to unlock all of the bosses. Magda, Cool, Asmodan, Belial, all of them, Diablo, Gom, they're all going to be unlocked and available, and you're going to be able to jump right to them if you want to go ahead and fight them. Now, you're probably going to want to get your 5 stacks and everything first, and I don't know exactly how efficient this is going to be, because this is what people did in Diablo 2. It was just boss run, boss run, boss run, boss run, grinding for the items, grinding for the levels, and it's kind of exciting to bring it back. I mean, I wish Diablo 3 had it in the initial launch. I don't know why they didn't bring it into the game originally. You know, that's a topic for another day, but it's going to be pretty exciting. We're going to be able to do our Baal runs again and everything, basically, is what it's going to be. Now, I realize Baal is not in Diablo 3. He's in Diablo 2, but that's what everybody was doing for endgame content, was pretty much Baal runs and more Baal runs. So I'm not saying that's what I want Diablo 3 to be now. I don't want it to just be boss runs, but to have that option available is great. So let's go ahead and jump into the bounties and the random dungeons now, because we do have this big, vast, open world, and we have no direction at this point. Well, they're going to be giving us some, and that's what the bounties and the random dungeons are going to be about. Direction and random dungeons, I don't know, but let's go ahead and jump into it. So what are bounties exactly? Well, when you're playing in Adventure Mode, you're going to be able to participate in these optional side quests, or bounties as they're calling them, and I do want to stress the word optional because they're not forcing us into playing these or anything while we're in Adventure Mode. They really do want us to be able to play what we want and where we want and all that, so that's pretty nice. Now, there's going to be 5 bounties in every act. So there's going to be 5 in Act 1, 5 in Act 2, and so on from there. Now, every act is going to be considered a set. So when you do the 5 in Act 1, that's going to be a set. Now, there's going to be some items that we're going to be able to obtain whenever we complete a set. So I'm going to be talking about that a little bit later. But the bounties are going to be consisting of themselves of kill bosses, kill uniques, do an event, or clear a dungeon. The reference was just like in the Den of Evil in Diablo 2. Clear all the mobs inside of there. Don't skip any. Got to clear them all, and then that one bounty would be complete. Now, There's 25 bounties every time we load up a game, but there's only 4 different options for what we can be doing inside of those bounties. Now, granted, if we're in Act 1 and we get a double up and it says we get 2 kill bosses, it's not going to be like kill the Butcher and then kill the Butcher again. It's going to be kill the Butcher and then kill the Skeleton King, or in whatever order. And then, we'd have our other ones throughout there as well, our events and our quests and all that. I don't know. I feel like they could just come up with a couple more ideas, like kill a goblin could be one. I don't know, just anything. A killing spree one or something, like a bounty is, we send you to this area and you need to get a 20 killing spree or something like that, or else you're not going to be able to complete the bounties for this act. Maybe if there was something that was, took a little bit of practice, or maybe you're not going to get these bounties guaranteed every time, because, I mean, if you go in to kill a boss and you can't kill the boss, well, you already know that. You're going to drop your MP level. Well, they're not calling them MPs levels anymore, but I'm going to reference them as MPs now. You just drop down your MP level and you could go do all those bounties and everything. Now, the bounties themselves are going to be completely random. So it's not going to be like every time you do Act 1, it's going to be the exact same group of 5, maybe completely new 5, or it might be one of them from your last 5, but it's in a different order now or whatever. So they're going to be completely random and everything. Just a few more ideas, I guess, is all I'm trying to really get at here, is they can come up with a few more things. And I do want to throw out there one more time that the Blizzard devs really are listening. Like, that's one great thing about the Blizzard devs, or the Diablo devs, whatever you want to say. They're always listening, They're always listening. So that's pretty nice. They're not going to be able to implement all of our ideas and everything into the game. But if you have some good ones, throw them at them. Make this game a little bit better for the rest of us. I really would appreciate it. Now, to get into that promise of good loot that I was talking about, now I don't know that it's going to be a guaranteed good loot whenever we complete a set of 5 of them from any of the acts. But one of the things is going to be a keystone, a Nephalem keystone. These are going to open up our Nephalem rifts, which were once called loot runs. Now I'll be getting into the loot runs or the Nephalem rifts in the next portion. But that's one of the things that we're going to be able to get. Now, I don't know that these are going to be a guaranteed drop at the end of every set. I haven't heard either way. So we might be getting a guaranteed one every time we complete a set. It might be like a 50-50 thing. I don't really know how it's going to be working. Now, you're also going to be getting your guaranteed gold, your guaranteed experience, just like you do when you complete events, whenever you complete quests, kill bosses, things like that. You're going to be getting that guaranteed gold at the end. I think they're giving out like 130k or something like that on the picture at the BlizzCon, at BlizzCon. I'll go ahead and throw it up and everything so you can see it as well. But it was like 130k, whole bunch of experience for completing a set. Then the last thing is going to be a legendary. I'll throw up these couple of pictures as well. The text is kind of hard to read. I really had to kind of squint at it and look at it and really pull what it said. But basically, I'll throw the text up on the screen so you can read exactly what it says. But it's telling us that we have the chance to get a legendary, to select from a group of legendaries whenever we complete a set of bounties. I don't know how it's going to be. If it's going to be guaranteed legendaries, if you're going to always have those same groups inside of there, because you can see it's broken up into Act 1, Act 2. If you're going to only be able to farm in Act 1 to get those group of legendaries, you're only going to be able to farm in Act 2 to get these group of legendaries. Kind of like a WoW thing. I hate to say that, but it's not horrible. I don't think it's a horrible idea. It's not like we're going to kill Baal. Okay, Baal's not in Diablo 3. We're going to kill Mephisto or something like that in Act 5, and he's always going to drop the same legendary. I don't totally care for that, but I do kind of like this bounty system where you can select from a group of legendaries. I think it's a little bit better, a little improved model and everything. So that's what you're going to be able to get while you are doing these bounties. Now let's go ahead and jump into what these loot runs, once we once knew as loot runs, and are now Nephalem rifts. So once we have our Rift Keystone, we're going to take it to the Nephalem Obelisk in town. Now, Nephalem Obelisk, they really haven't elaborated on what exactly they are or what they're going to be doing. As far as we know now, they're going to be opening up our Nephalem Rifts, and they're going to be placed in town. But once inside our Nephalem Rift, our main goal, typical Diablo 3 fashion, kill as much as you can, as fast as you can, with the promise of good loot at the end. Now, these are going to vary from 10 to 15 minutes in length, and they're going to go from 1 to 10 levels deep, which is pretty exciting. So once we're inside, it's going to be completely randomized. Now, like I said, it can go from 1 to 10 levels, but also they took every zone from what they said they took every zone, every monster from Diablo 3 and Reaper of Souls and basically just put it all on shuffle. So what that means is we could be going from the Defiled Crypts in Act 1 to the Keep Depths level 2 in Act 3 to Hell Rift in Act 4, and then to top it all off we could end up in Whimsy Shire. And then all the areas that are well lit could be dark, and all the areas that are dark could be well lit. And then we could transition from an exterior zone to an interior zone, and then from that interior zone we could be down in some random dungeon. So this is pretty sweet. I was really, really excited about this. And while we're in Act 1, the Defiled Crypts or whatever, we could be fighting mobs from Act 4 and Act 5. While we're in Keep Depths level 2 and Act 3, we could be fighting monsters from Act 2 and Whimsy Shire. Sounds like a pretty deadly combo, actually. Whimsy Shire mobs and Act 2 mobs. They've got to be the two most annoying right there. Okay, it's probably actually the hardest one right now. It would be Act 4 mobs and Act 2 mobs would pretty much just stomp house. That'd be a pretty nice combo to go up against. Then, also, the bosses completely randomized throughout there. There's going to be a boss guaranteed. I think it's just one, but there's going to be a boss guaranteed in every Nephalem Rift, and they're going to be randomly placed once again and randomly selected. So we could encounter Diablo, and he's got like 20 of the Fallen Lunatic, the exploding guys from Act 2 around him. And they didn't elaborate on this, but they said that the bosses are going to have like special powers and abilities. I don't know if they just mean like elite affixes or anything like that. This is one thing I'm really curious about on what the bosses are actually going to be doing, whether they're just going to be like some more frozen arcane and it's just going to be like a boss elite. Now, that's kind of cool. But they also could like go out there and give like Diablo the Zoltan cool slowing bubbles, something like that. That would be pretty sweet as well. Or you could give Diablo like the butcher cleave, and he drags you to him and everything, and then he like ground stomps or something. I don't know, but they could make some really cool boss mechanics if they were to intermingle all the different bosses, like expand upon, like keep Diablo's normal abilities, but add new ones to it. That would be really, really sweet. So while the variety is not endless, or the replayability, it is pretty vast, and it is really going to add a lot to the end game. I think personally, it sounds pretty exciting. I'm very excited for this into Diablo 3. And then to top it all off, they're going to have like these special shrines buffs. I'm not sure exactly how we're going to acquire them. If it's just going to be like a shrine, click on it, pick it up. That's how I would assume. But it could also be something like once you're in your Nephalem Rift, you kill 50 mobs, or you kill a couple of these type of mobs, and then boom, your buff is activated. Now the 3 buffs that they have shared with us is one is going to be a massive damaging AoE that you're going to run around and pretty much one-shot everything. That sounds pretty interesting. They had another one that they were talking about that's going to completely eliminate the cooldowns on all of your abilities. So those huge damage dealing abilities that we've always wanted to be able to spam inside of Nephalem Rifts, well, we just might get that chance. So that's pretty cool. I guess just an idea that I was thinking is like they could just give you endless mana or endless fury, whatever the case may be. They kind of have something like that in the normal game as well, but just to have it not eliminated at all, that would be pretty sweet. And the last one, enough about my ideas, is going to be invulnerability. If you played Wolfenstein, you know this is God mode. If you played StarCraft, you know this as power overwhelming. You can't die. That's what invulnerability. You can't die. So hopefully that'll make for some pretty fast-paced action. It's sounding really, really exciting. I'm getting more and more pumped for Reaper of Souls, the more things that they are coming out with. Well, that's going to be it for me. I am ChromeOnRust for Core Expert Gaming. I do thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to all the subscribers. Really do appreciate it. I'm ChromeOnRust. I'm out of here. You all have a great day. Hopefully this video was a little bit more on focus. I was really trying to hammer this one out a little bit better than my last one. Last one was a lot more fun and everything. I was just a rambling dude, That's what I do, I guess. But I'm out of here. And you all have a great day.